Hey y'all, how's it going? My name's Christian. Welcome to the channel, or back to the channel. Uh, it's time to probably get some people really mad at me. I don't. I want to do a Pokemon games tier list because I think that'll really get people mad at me. I have some really strong opinions about that. I don't think this will get people mad at me too much. But this is me rating all the megas. Um, I don't think I'm gonna do the Raichus because they're not actually in the game yet, so we haven't fully. I guess we have seen them. This doesn't include the ones from the trailer that just came out, but ever since EA came out, I wanted to do this, so we're gonna get into it. I don't know what I want to start with because should I just start with like the worst ones because they're easy to get out the way, like the ones that I hate. I don't even know which ones like I hate that much. I know there were some that stood like I think the Clefable is awful. I think that was really bad. It's one of the worst new ones. Just had an ad pop up, even though I have ad block on. That was weird. Okay, it doesn't have all the other ads on the page at least. I don't usually use ad block because of like YouTube and stuff, but for this there were so many everywhere. I was like, I got to get it real quick. But I think, yeah, I think that's really bad. Like I don't know. They could have done so much more for Clefable. I understand making it the fairy with the wings and stuff, but man, that's awful. I think I'm going mainly off of design, especially with the because of the. I don't want to go off of like abilities and how strong they are because with ZA in the game at least you don't get to see that stuff. I'm sure it's out there. I haven't looked it up. I'm just going off the stuff that we know from the games, from playing the games, and ZA like there's no abilities, right? So we haven't seen all that stuff. We don't know all that stuff. So there's no way for me to judge based off of that. Because some mons would move up or down based off their abilities. Like Mega Kangaskhan would be higher because its ability is really good. But I don't want to do that because we don't know at least the ZA ones in game. So what my first initial thought to Starmie was low, and I realized it's really funny. So I want to move it up just off of that. Now, I don't think Game Freak meant for it to be funny. So, and based off of the way they meant for it to be, it's probably down there. But because it is funny, I want to move it up. I'm going to put it at B. It's grown on me. My first reaction was like, ew. But then I'm like, no, it's kind of hilarious. Honestly, it's close to A. Like it's very, very funny. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'll go back to the beginning now. I think they could have done a lot more with Venusaur. I don't think it's awful. I feel like I might end up adding an extra tier to this. We'll see. Because I don't think Venusaur is awful, but I feel like they could have done so much more with it. I think Venusaur's very underrated. I know it's Gen 1, but I think out of the three, it's the least rated of them. And I think Venusaur is actually pretty cool. I like frogs a lot, though. Politoed is my favorite Pokemon and stuff. I think Charizard is a good Pokemon. I still think it's probably the most overrated Pokemon, even though I think it's good. And I think Dragon is the worst type in Pokemon because Dragon is only super effective against Dragon, which makes it kind of pointless offensively. It has good defensive stats. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but I don't like the Dragon typing. I think Black is overused especially in Shinies. Black is overused in Pokemon. So I'm actually going to put this down a little lower. And I think the Flying Fire type school, I think I do like the design more on this one. So we're going to put that in A. See, at least they finally used the things on Blastoise. But Blastoise is another one. Squirtle's my favorite starter from Gen 1 because of the anime and stuff. I grew up watching the anime and everything. But I just feel like they could have done so much more with it, and they didn't do much with it at all. Like, I don't know. It's kind of disappointing in my opinion. I think Beedrill's really cool. I wouldn't put it S tier, but I do think the design's really cool, and that's what we're going off of here. Nothing else. Because like Pidgeot, right, would probably be close to S tier because how good it is competitively, but design wise, it's okay. I think it's going like B. It feels weird to not put to. I might have to move the Charizard up, to be honest. I'm trying to think of what I'll have in S tier. We'll move stuff around later. I feel like I'm going really fast. Maybe I should look for something that I feel like is S tier. There has to. I know there's something that's S tier. There's at least a few. I'm trying to. I want one that's not new, because I know one new one at least that I want to put in S tier, if not more than one new one. Because there's some really good new ones. But there has to be an older one that I feel like is really, really good. I can't think of it right now, but I'm sure there is one. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking around. I've seen a couple that are like new that I'm like, possibly, but they're the new ones. Is there really no really good, like, standout old Mega designs? I'm sure some people have like the Charizards up there. Like, I think the Kangaskhan is a great idea, but it doesn't change much. It's just, in concept, I think it's really good. They could have changed it a little more, made it look cool though. Like the Kangaskhan itself, because yeah, the baby jumps out and stuff and whatever, but the design other than that doesn't really change much. I'm tempted to say that, honestly, Steelix might be S tier based off of design. I don't know if I want to just throw it up there because I want to force something up there. Whatever. I think Alakazam's is cool, but I don't think it's like amazing. I think it's another B tier. I think there's so much more they could have done with it to make it like a wise and whatever. I think there's a lot missing out on it. They could have just done more with it. There's so many Gen 1 Megas. I don't like Megas. I'm starting to like them more now that more Pokemon are getting them because of ZA. I don't like Megas because it allows Game Freak to pay favorites, and I think they push Gen 1 way too much, obviously. But yeah. I feel like I might overrate all the new ones. No, because I have the only D tier I have is that right now. I might add an F tier as well. Victory Bell, I don't think it's awful, but I want to put it in C for now. As long as, along with slower, like it's just inside the shell and stuff. I don't know. I think they could have done so much with these, and like Victory Bell, I think they did do a decent amount with. It's cool. It's cool. The design makes sense and stuff. Slowbro, it's just, I don't know. It's just doesn't feel like much. Gengar is one that might be an S tier. That's older. Yeah, Gengar's is really good. I'm gonna put it in S tier for now. We'll see how it goes. Kangaskhan, like I said, it's a cool concept. So, but I'm going off of design. I think if you just saw this outside of knowing regular Kangaskhan, it's not cool at all, right? And so that's why I want to put it down here. It's like, if you knew nothing about Pokemon, your first time seeing Kangaskhan is just Mega Kangaskhan. You're not like, oh, cool, nice design. Like if you saw Beedrill, not knowing normal Beedrill, and you just saw the Beedrill, you'd be like, oh, that's a cool design. I don't think you do that with the Kangaskhan. I don't think you do that with any of these, really. I think you get a bit more of that up here. The Starmie is funny, whether you know it or not. And then, yeah, I think that's more of where my opinion on the Megas come from, is that now some of them will come from some knowledge, but for now, I actually think Pinsir's is cool. I'm going to put it up in A for now. I think it is a good design. I think working off of what Pinsir actually looks like, it's a huge upgrade. And I think Pinsir really deserved the Mega because I don't think it gets enough love in the games and stuff. So I think it's up in A. There's so many Gen 1 Megas. Gyarados, we're just going off a design. I'm going to go with B. Now, I like the typing change. It's good competitively-ish. But I think just off of design, I don't think it's all that crazy, especially as an upgrade from regular Gyarados. I think if people saw it for the first time, this one would be higher, maybe, if they didn't know what Gyarados looked like. But I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with it. I don't really like Aerodactyls, to be honest. As a change from what Aerodactyl looks like, I don't think it's great. So I'm just going to stick it there. Dragonites, I like. See, Dragonites is one I'm going to go off of a little more knowledge. I like how it's. I know a lot of people hated it. I like how it builds in like aspects of Dragonair and stuff. Yes, they could have done more again. That's why I'm going B. But I do like how they built an aspect of Dragonair and put it into it and stuff. I do think if people saw this for the first time, it would be really low. So that's part of it. Might be C. It's between C and B. Because like if a person from the outside that didn't know what Dragonite looks like, they might have that really low. So, but I also like it myself. So we'll stick it there for now. See, this one I'm going to go off the typing. I like the Psychic Fighting type of the Mewtwo. So I'm going to do that. I know I said, but we know the typings in the games. We just don't know, you know, abilities and stuff in ZA. So this one's also like, I like both of those designs a lot too. I get strong Frieza vibes as well. I think that's cool. Yeah, I do hate the fact that Mewtwo got 2, but I'm not rating it based off of that. I do not like the fact that Mewtwo got 2, but yeah. I want to put Meganium higher, but so when I was a kid, I've told this story a bunch. I took Chikorita as my starter when Gold and Silver first came out. And I hated Meganium's design so much, I kept Bayleaf and wouldn't evolve my Bayleaf into Meganium. And I was hoping they could rescue it. Because Meganium deserves so much more love. That line deserves so much more love. Chikorita's awesome. And it gets a lot of hate. I don't think this transition from Bayleaf to Meganium. I think if they switched it and it was Meganium into like kind of a Bayleaf more design, which I know there's not much difference, but it's enough that I felt like Bayleaf's design was really good and Meganium's wasn't. I don't think they did justice to Meganium here. So I'm going to go D for that. I do think if I was seeing it for the first time and didn't know what Meganium looked like, I might have it a little higher. But I'm just upset about how dirty they did Meganium. So I'm going to put it in D. For Alligator, Totodile's my favorite starter. For Alligator's it's the one I took in the game. I like how they built in the for Alligator head and stuff to shrunk down, or the Totodile head and stuff to shrunk down. I don't know. I feel like there was so much more they could have done, and just adding that flap is goofy. It's kind of cool, but I think this is one, if you saw it for the first time and didn't know what for Alligator looked like, you'd think it was stupid. So Ampharos, I did say I don't like dragon typing really, but I think, and you're adding weaknesses to Amon that had only one weakness, but it's kind of funny, the Fabio vibes and stuff. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's a huge improvement of what Ampharos is, but I think if you saw this for the first time, you'd think it's a good Pokemon. I don't know if you think it's a good Mega, but you think it's a good Pokemon design. I like Steelix a lot. I might put Steelix up there with Gengar, strictly off its design. It's not one I would really use, but yeah. Honestly, people might hate me for this. I think Scizor's is, as an upgrade from what Scizor looks like design-wise, I think it's kind of dumb. That's all I'm going to go with. Nothing else. I just think it looks kind of dumb. Also, Skarmory's just bad. I wanted a Mega Skarmory. I brought it up before the games came out. That's just bad. Heracross's is just meh. It's middle of the pack. It's not awful. I'll probably do middle of the pack being C. Average is C. I know that's because these are like not horrible. I'll probably end up adding an F and moving some stuff down, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about Houndoom. I think it's pretty decent. I think it's a good upgrade from what Houndoom looks like. It looks cool from the outside. I think if you're seeing it for the first time, you think it's a cool Pokemon. I'm gonna go the same with T-Tar. It's a little weird having the stuff growing off of it and stuff, but everything together and having its evolutions like play a part in the design and stuff, I think is cool. I think it's not the best design as an upgrade from. We'll go see. We'll go see. Because I don't think it's as bad as these. That might be one that moves down if I add another tier. We'll see. I think Blazikens is cool. And I know it's just a mainstream idea, but I do really like it. We'll go S tier for now. I do think Blazikens is cool. It is also overrated, which bothers me, but I also think it's cool, so. I don't like Swamperts too much, but it's like, I think it's cool for the design of what Swampert originally was to do that with it. If I saw it for the first time like that, I think it was goofy, but knowing it was an upgrade from Swampert is something. See, like, Gardevoirs isn't bad, but it's not good, so there's like nothing to it. There were times I megaed NZA with Gardevoir and didn't notice if she was megaed or not. It's like, okay. Stabilize is a cool concept, but they just make the gym bigger. This is one that might be D if I'm going to add an F tier. I think I should just add an F tier. I forgot how to. What color do I want to make this? We'll make it like this. Row below. Yeah. That's F. That's F. I think this is more accurate. And then we can move that down there. Honestly, probably move Heracross to like the top of that as well. I think this is decent for what we have. We only have new ones in F, but because I think the concept of Sableye is cool. But again, if you saw it for the first time, it's like, okay. I need to stop going in order because I need ones. I have to think about some of them a lot. Like Absol's is cool. I don't like Absol as a Pokemon that much because it just gets me messed up in GAs all the time. So I don't know if I'm being biased by moving it down based off of that. But I'm going to put it here. I'm not putting these in order, by the way, in each tier. Because I don't have time to think about that. This is my favorite new Mega, I think. Is Drampa. Drampa, I think, never got enough love as a Pokemon. I'm glad it got a Mega. Get some love. And I think with like lore and digging into why it looks like it is and stuff, you'd think it even looks even better. But I think it's really cool. I know it's not a lot of people's favorite new one, but I think it's my favorite new one, or at least one of my favorite new ones. There's a lot of really good new ones, I think. I don't think I'm going to place all of them up that high, but yeah, there's a lot of really, really good new ones. There's some not great new ones as well, but Glalie just goes here. It's not awful, but it's kind of dumb looking in my opinion. Again, if you saw that for the first time from the outside, you just laugh at it. So it's like, okay. I don't like Nectrix at all. I think it's really bad design. That's all I have to say about it. Let's see. I'm trying to like make sure it's balanced out when I finish it. Alteria's is okay. I like the typing change and stuff, but I think maybe I'll put it in C because it is pretty. It's pretty cool to have the cloud and stuff incorporated. I know it always has the cloud incorporated, but the way it does the cloud and everything, I think it's a decent upgrade. The Lattes, I think, are just boring upgrades. It feels like it's mostly just a change in color. Obviously, it's a slight design change, but it's mostly just a change in color. I think they could have done so much more with the Lattes, and it's disappointing that they didn't. That's all I have to say. Honestly, I feel like Aggron's F because I don't feel like they changed it enough. Here, let me see. Yeah, I don't feel like Aggron is like, they didn't do enough with it. I feel like they should have done more. If you looked at that without knowing what normal Aggron looks like, I don't think you would think that that's even a Mega Pokemon. Most of the Megas, I think you would be able to tell. That one's like, okay. Cool, I guess. It doesn't look like a Mega at all, but A lot of people hate Aldino. I think the Mega's pretty decent. I like the design. I think the upgrade from the normal Aldino is cool. I think a lot of people hate it because it was the only one from its gen to get a Mega when other Pokemon from the gen should have got a Mega back then. Now we have some. Now we have a few. We got a decent amount this time. But I think a lot of people didn't like it because of that. I think Rayquaza's overrated. And I think it's good, but its overratedness makes me want to bump it down some. I'll put it in B for now. No, it's A. I do think it's overrated, but it's still really good. It's one of those things that's hard for me to rank because like it upsets me when people are like, "Oh, it's the best," and it's like, yeah. But I guess the design's an opinion thing anyway. I just think it's overrated based off its design. Like I think Charizard's overrated as a Pokemon, period, just because it's shoved down our throat. I also think Lucario's overrated as a Pokemon, but the Mega's decent, and it goes like here. It's not like a huge upgrade, but it looks cool. And it's another one they gave a Mega just because they wanted everybody to love Lucario. Because Game Freak is like, oh, we need to have these popular Pokemon. And I understand the thought process here with it giving that's kanji, right? I'm trying to learn Japanese right now, but I don't know. I don't think in concept it works at all. It's it just bothers me. Yeah, I don't think in concept it really works. So we'll leave that at that. I'm trying to think of. I don't really like the Barbecued ones, but it could be worse. So we'll put it in D. It makes sense, but it's like it doesn't look all that great. Honestly, I'd say the same with the Dragalge one. Like I think it's a decent concept. I'm glad Dragalge got a Mega, but I don't really like the design. And I think they did what they needed to do with the design, and still I don't like it, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain that. Mega Gallade's another one that's just basic like Gardevoir. We'll put it with Gardevoir for that reason. Gardevoir might bump down, to be honest. I know I said that earlier. I think I put Gardevoir down there. Gallade's slightly better, I think. Mega wise. Okay. Frost Slices is okay. I didn't like it at first. It grew on me a little bit. Still not like amazing, but at least it's a decent concept. I'm trying to decide what I feel like with some of them, because it's like, do I just dislike this Pokemon or do I dislike the Mega? Because like Sharpedo I want to put really low, but it's also like not awful. So we'll just put it in C as well. Like I think it's because I don't like Sharpedo as a Pokemon, and I don't think the Mega's that bad compared to what Sharpedo looks like. I think it's a decent upgrade, so we'll put it there. I'm also I really want to make sure I keep it balanced. Excadrill is one of my favorite new Megas. I don't think its design's S tier deserving, but I'm going to put it in A tier. Maybe that's just the fact that I love Excadrill as a Pokemon and I draft it in draft leagues as much as possible and I use it a lot. So maybe there's some bias in that one, but yeah. Like some of them I haven't seen in game yet, right? Like these three, I haven't seen any of them in game yet. Part of my opinion on them is going to be the fact, like I think Chestnut as a normal Pokemon is an F tier design, but I think it's like a B Mega. But I think because it's an F tier design that they make into a B Mega, I'm going to put it as A because of the upgrade on how it looks. I want to do the same with. Why do I kept wanting to say the other names, but it's Delphox. But I wanted to say like Fennekin and Braxton. But I think Delphox might be an S tier. Like it's really cool. I like the whole wizard aspect and witch aspect of it with the broom looking thing. I don't know why it makes me think of Black Clover. You know what? I'm putting Delphox up in a S. I haven't seen Emboar in game yet either, technically. Because, well, I have the stone and stuff. I think Emboar is also like not a great design, from basic Emvor, and then this upgrades it a decent amount, so we'll also put Emvor in A. Some of these I want to see shiny, like Scolipede shiny is amazing, so I want to see shiny Mega Scolipede. I think Greninja's is underwhelming. I think Greninja has an amazing first design, and then so the Mega is kind of underwhelming for what Greninja is. I think that might be putting it next to like big upgrades in the other ones, like Delphox and Chestnut, that are huge upgrades from what they originally were as Pokemon. And then Greninja's like already like a really cool Pokemon. Like I said earlier, I like frogs. And then I don't know, it was underwhelming to me. So I'm gonna knock it down for that reason, and that's the reason alone. I feel like I'm not gonna have enough in F, but I feel like the ones that are in F deserve to be there, so I don't need to add more to F. And it's a bunch of new ones, but there's so many new ones up higher too. It's like all like hit or like, it's like all the new ones are amazing or not. Like I like this one. I don't know if I put him S tier, if Scrafty deserves to be that high, but I like the idea of how they changed it and what Scrafty originally is into being this. It's borderline S tier, but I don't think it is quite S tier. I want to put like Camerupt's Metagross I think is Abomasnow I think is I just want to get some out of the way so we get this over with. I think also, like they're all kind of boring, meh designs that they could have done more with, but they didn't do enough with, in my opinion. Zygarde, I'm tempted to put it. I'll put Zygarde. No, I think a Zygarde can go there too. They just like gave it a big rocket, which I guess could be cool, but they could have implemented it better, I think. I don't like how they implemented it. Metachan's also kind of like, I'm trying to not think about Metachan's ability. I think it's enough of an increase off its original design to put there. I would go the same there. I'm trying to think of what else. Like Lopunny is typing and stuff addition is cool, but I don't think it's like that much of an upgrade look wise from the original Lopunny. I guess if we're doing these, then they're also like a basic upgrade look, but they're also originally awesome Pokemon. So, but I'm not gonna do Groudon, Kyogre because they're not megas. I really liked the Phalanx. I think Phalanx deserves something new, and I think they did a really good job with it. We're gonna put Diancie here. I think it's a cool upgrade on what Diancie is. I think it's a beautiful looking design. I'm gonna move it up one. I talked myself into it. All the most of these I think are pretty good, just not amazing. So we're gonna go like B. I like Banette's upgrade over original Banette, so I think it deserves to go there. Garchomp's isn't like awful, but like I don't think it's amazing either. It's a decent upgrade off of what regular Garchomp looks like. I already think regular Garchomp's doesn't look as amazing as some people do anyway. I think I'll put I kind of like what they did for Malamar, actually. I don't like, if I looked at it for the first time, I don't think I'd like it as a Pokemon, but knowing what Malamar looks like and stuff, the upgrade on it, I think is pretty good. We'll go for Floette, for Eternal Floette, we'll go there. I don't know, I was expecting more, I was hyped for more. Maybe it's my disappointment, was hoping that the main focus of everything would have a much better Mega. I don't think it's a bad Mega, but I think I expected a little more from it, and I'm kind of disappointed in it. Scolipede is cool. I do want to see it shiny. I don't like how it's like something, the balance of it messes with my head. It looks like it's so front heavy, and for some reason it bothers me, and I'm just going to go with it off of that. I like Chandelures a lot. I know it's not a huge upgrade, but it just makes sense for what Chandelure is to do that with Chandelure. Just make it a bigger Chandelier. And then the last one we'll go with for Electros. I don't know. I don't think it's awful. So I want to put it B. As an upgrade from Electros, I think is good. It's a lot of this has to do with what what they originally had to work with and what we ended up getting out of it. Um, I'm gonna move Kangaskhan down actually, because again, like, it's not a huge upgrade from what Kangaskhan is. It just kind of jumps out the pouch. I don't want to say I hate it, like these designs, but I just feel like there's so much they could have done, and it's just not a huge upgrade over what we originally had, you know? And I feel like they should. That's the big thing. That's why I like Agrons down here. I don't think it's an upgrade at all. I'm not gonna rank those. Those aren't megas. These I haven't really seen in game at all to see like their full design at work and everything. So this is what we got. Do I like it? I don't know. I feel like any given day I could move stuff around, but I think design wise, these are probably my favorite megas, and I think it goes down like this. I'm looking through to make sure I don't feel like I did something really wrong. Maybe I should do something really wrong to get people talking in the comment section. Let me know what your S tiers are and what your F tiers are down below. Let me know what you think about my ratings. I don't think I have the best opinion on all this stuff or anything. I'm just going based off of how I feel. And I don't think every Pokemon is rated the same way. Like I said, some of them are because the design's kind of funny. Some is because I think it's cool. Some I think are cool, but it's overrated, so I moved it down a little. Sometimes it's overrated, but I'm like, I like it enough that'll put it up. Like, every single one has a very different reasoning, and I know it doesn't make any sense, but this is just how much I like them, I think, overall, and what I came to in conclusion as I was putting them down. I didn't think about any of this ahead of time, so it may change tomorrow, but as of right now, I think this is my mega design tier list. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm sorry. I love you all. And I hope to see you back here next time.